Okay, well, it's 3 minutes past 7. We said we'd start at 7, so I think we'll go ahead. Welcome to everybody, and thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to everyone who has donated so far. Thank you to Solomon, who stayed up late, especially to come and join us. Please note, you should probably have seen something on the screen that this is being recorded, and we do intend to share it online on our socials and via e-newsletter afterwards. We'll send out the links and the recording will come out to you as well. Before we get into the meat of the meeting, some housekeeping for you first. So as I said at the start, we've currently muted all your mics to allow the presenters to speak. If you have a burning question during the presentations, then please either use the Q&A facility, that's at the top. You should see a little symbol with Q&A, and we'll try and answer you or get one of the presenters to answer live. There is also a chat facility that will go to everyone. When we finish the presentations, if you wish to speak or ask a question live, please can you raise your digital hand, and I will then allow you to unmute your mic. So I'll come to you and say you can now unmute, and then if you could mute once you've finished your question. And what else was I going to say? I've forgotten now. I think that's it. So I'm going to hand over now to Karina, who is our charity coordinator, and she's been doing all the coordinating, running this appeal, and she will lead the rest of the meeting. I forgot to say welcome also to Fritha and to Gordon, who both been helping us in the background to get this campaign going and keep it running. So thank you for joining us and thank you for your help thus far. So I hand over to Karina. Who should be unmuting herself.
Oh, I think I unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. Thanks, Colin. Yeah, thank you firstly again to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate you giving up your evenings. Hopefully not all of your evening. We don't want to go on all night, especially for Solomon, because it's nearly midnight for him. We were just complimenting him on how fresh he looks though. So yeah, thank you, Solomon, for staying up late for us. So just to give you a very brief idea of the agenda, we're going to start just with a little bit of information from Solomon about a snapshot into the Grace Charitable Trust at the moment. Then we're going to discuss, I'm going to explain the details of the emergency, and that will be a good opportunity for you to listen. And if you've got any questions about that or if anything isn't clear, you can write them in the chat box and we can answer them afterwards. And then from that, we're going to open the floor to you all to bring ideas and discussions. And we really hope to end tonight with some tangible actions so that we can feel that we've really made some progress. So yeah, thank you all for being here. So yeah, you all know why we're here, to try and come up with some solutions to help the Grace Charitable Trust out of this sticky situation, but we thought we'd start off with something positive. So we'd really love Solomon to just tell us one or two stories about children who've used the Grace Charitable Trust buses and tuition centres in the past and where they are now. So over to you, Solomon.
Hi everyone. I want to just thank you for being here and spending all your valuable timing. And Grace Charitable Trust is supporting the tribal children since 2007. We have a lot of case studies, a lot of good stories, and a lot of changes in the villages. So I would like to bring two of them to your kind notice. That this is a girl from Teppakadu village. Her name is Kaveri. She started her schooling from our tuition centers, and she used our buses. And now she's our teacher in Teppakadu village. She's taking care of the children in the Teppakadu tuition center. And there's another one. She's Bunty. She was the first batch in the village where we started the tuition center in 2007. And she did a good. She got a good score in her +2, and she's now teaching in a school in government school in Masanangudi. So there are many other stories. So I just thought to show you two of these two children.
Thank you so much, Solomon. It's so lovely to see those pictures, and also I know you could go on all night with all of the stories, but it's so wonderful to see just how your work is making such a difference to so many different people. So thank you for sharing those. So please, could you just let us know how things are running for Grace Charitable Trust at the moment? I'm going to give you some quick questions, and we have planned this in advance, so he knows to be prepared with the answers, hopefully. But so how many buses do you have at the moment?
Grace Charitable Trust is, being run by the support of Adventure Ashram and other few more other charities in the UK. And whatever we receive from you, and we just spend for each and every month. And we have totally 5 buses, including 1 jeep, which is being run for the tribal children deep inside the jungle.
Thank you. And how many children are you supporting at the moment?
We are supporting nearly 400 children in 20 tribal villages.
20 villages.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. And how many tuition centers have you got running at the moment?
We have 8 tuition centers.
8 tuition centers, and each of those has a teacher as well?
Yeah, we have eight tuition teachers we have.
Great. And do those tuition centers have computers as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we do.
That's amazing. And how many bus drivers do you employ?
So we have four bus drivers we have.
Okay, amazing. Is there any other information that you'd like to share? Those were the questions that we had prepared, but is there any other information you'd like to share with everybody about Grace Charitable Trust at the moment?
We are really working hard to educate these tribal children, and we are giving them holistic education and a lot of other stuff. And the dropout is very less nowadays, and the children are getting ready for the exam since it's the exam month. We are doing good by your help.
Thank you. You're doing such important work. That's why we really want to help you. Okay, thank you so much, Solomon. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen. Hopefully this will work, so that we can go into the details about the emergency situation. So let's share my screen. And then if I go, oops, there's a chat box that's come up. And then if I go, there we go. Hopefully you can see that slide now. It looks like it. So the details about the emergency situation that we're in at the moment. So the Grace Charitable Trust has running costs of about £2,000 a month. Adventure Ashram normally makes regular payments throughout the year to help cover these costs. To help cover these costs. The Grace Charitable Trust's FCRA certificate expires on the 26th of May. So that means that after that, they will not be able to receive foreign funds for around 9 months. And that 9 months it could be longer, it could be less. We don't know. We just decided together that is a kind of a good number to choose, but really, and that's based on previous experience and other organizations that are kind of similar situations, but really we don't know. the previous deadline, oh yes, so we did give a previous deadline of the 20th of May that we were going to stop receiving donations and send the funds out to Solomon, but we've realized that that's actually much too risky because of the way that the bank transfers can sometimes be delayed for quite a long time. That's too much of a risk to take. So we've got a new deadline that all funds need to be received by the 8th of May, so the transfer will take place on the 9th of May. We hope that should give us enough time. So details about the emergency situation continued. So we have currently raised a total of £12,000 and £12,091, which is brilliant. And so I know a lot of you on here have donated, many of you multiple times. So thank you so much. We are so grateful. But we do need an additional 5,909 to reach our target of £18,000. And that's all of the information really to give you now. And then I was going to simply open the floor from here because we don't want the meeting to go on. So if anybody has now got any questions, ideas, pledges, this would be a great moment to ask the questions either in the chat box or to raise your hand. And I do think that Colin, you might want to start because I think you've been looking at Adventure Ashram emergency accounts, and you might be able to release some funds from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to stop sharing?
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. And I will come in, hopefully, and you can see me highlighted. No, I can't see me back, so hopefully you can see me. Anyway,
We can see you.
So the trustees have an emergency reserve fund for our projects, and it's to be used in cases like this. So we did agree at our board meeting this week that we would release £2,000 to this appeal. We need obviously to gather that money back in the coming months so that we continue to have that reserve. Additionally, we were set a bit of a challenge by Gordon, and he agreed that up to £1,000 that he would match any donations made by the trustees themselves, and so far we have £800 either pledged or already given. I believe we've had £200 in already. So I'll be encouraging the rest of the trustees, if they haven't already, to consider adding to that to get us up to the 1,000. And I think you've also had a pledge in, Karina, is that right?
Yes, I have. My dad has just pledged £500 today as well, so that's brilliant. And I actually just seen somebody in the chat, that was John. John has just said that he's willing to donate another £500. Oh, that's amazing! Thank you so much, John. I need to be writing down. I'm losing track of what we're on now. I'm just gonna mute myself.
So Ailsa is currently typing away. I can open the mic if you prefer that, Ailsa.
And if anybody has any questions about anything, then do feel free to ask the questions in the chat box or to raise your hands. Alyssa's asked, are there any internal India funds to support Grace Charitable Trust? Colin or Solomon, would you like to answer those, or?
I think Solomon would be best placed.
Yeah, we are trying our level best to raise funds from India, and we have approached few companies in the Tirupur banyan factories, and they didn't promise, but they said we will just consider your application, they said. But still we are trying to approach as many as we can.
Thank you, Solomon. And
Roy's asked a question.
What are the implications if the target's not met? And so that kind of aligns with that question as well. So Adventure Ashram, we're obviously going to give the Grace Charitable Trust as much money as we can before the deadline, and then we won't be able to give them money for this 9 months in theory, but we will obviously still be working with them. So one of the things that we would like to do is to try and help them find internal India organizations to be able to help them get funding as well. Gary's got his hand up.
Gary, I've unlocked your mic, so please feel free to unmute yourself.
You're still muted, Gary.
Yeah. Unmute is.
There we go.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
You can. Okay. Well, I will either raise or pledge £500 before the date comes. I'm working on raising it from some friends. If there's any shortfall, I'll make it up to the £500.
Thank you, Gary. I think your 500 was in my total for the trustees already, because you'd already pledged that to me. So we don't want to double count it.
No, you're not going to get it twice anyway.
Okay, I think Karina's got a calculator out because the question came up, what's the shortfall now?
Yeah, so it's actually, if my calculations are correct, and with John's additional 500 plus my 500 plus my father's 500, we're on 17,000. So it actually needs £1,000. Yeah. £1,000.
I think Vicky's got her hand up, Gordon.
Vicky has. I'm just coming to her.
Yeah, sorry.
Right. Your mic is now free if you want to unlock it, Vicky.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
So, I'll pledge 500.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Vicky.
I can't get on the chat. It's not showing anything, so that's why I did it through that. Okay.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you very much indeed. That's appreciated.
Thank you so much, Vicky. That's amazing.
And Gordon?
Yeah, I was just going to say and explain a little bit about domestic funding in India. I've been working with Solomon. We've been trying to get much more domestic funding rather than just relying on UK funding. One of the challenges is that basically when you talk to industry or larger organizations, they're prepared to look at finance for capital projects, i.e. build a tuition center, buy a bus or something like that, but they don't want to contribute to day-to-day running costs. And that presents quite a challenge to us. So I'm not saying that it never happens, but it is quite difficult. And that's where we're challenged right now. It's the actual running costs that we're running up against. But I'm going to be working on that. The other point is I'm a Rotarian in my local area. And I was hoping that somewhere between our contacts, there might be other Rotarians, and we have a process whereby I could get a commitment from my club. It could be, it could be doubled by an equal commitment from one or other clubs, and could also be matched by the National Association. Project is valid. So you sort of get a 4 times multiple. Now, we're not going to do that for the beginning of May, but we could perhaps do that sometime this year, So it's just an idea for to work on.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Gordon.
In the Q&A, Charlie, thank you very much. Charlie's has pledged £500 as well.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That hasn't showed up for me yet. So that's amazing. Thank you so much, Charlie.
Probably because I answered it.
Oh,
It's in the Q&A, not the chat.
oh, I see. Wow, we're on 17,691. That's amazing.
I have a quick question for Solomon and for Gordon, I suppose, because he's been out there recently. We know that the Indian government is not being as friendly towards Christian and Muslim organisations as it could be, and I know it's been a real problem in the past, Solomon. So does it continue to be an issue, or has it relaxed?
Yeah, it's just since it's a government, Hindu government, it's still it's an issue. But we had a lot of scrutiny from in our accounts, in our activities. But we don't do any religious activities in the charity. So it's absolutely a secular one, and we don't entertain any religious activities in the charity. So we won't have any issue.
Right. I don't think we've got any more questions. No hands raised.
So this is absolutely fantastic that we're at 17,691, and thank you so much, everybody. And we've still got time, so we can share this total on our social media. And I'm sure there'll be people. Well, there are lots of people that couldn't attend the meeting tonight that will still hopefully be keen to support us. But yeah, has anybody got any additional comments or questions or messages for Solomon or anything? Seeing as we're still early, we can't close yet. We've got 20 more minutes to keep. But we can close early, of course. It's very rare that this happens in a Teams meeting, especially with Adventure Ashram normally. But yeah, does anybody have any questions or comments or anything they'd like to say?
I'd just like to say, Solomon, just to send a message to all your teachers, to say thank you, and all your drivers and Tata. And I know it must be a very worrying time for them. And just to say thank you for your hard work and for your care of the children, because I know that they're just the best team ever. So just say, please pass on our thanks to them. And I hope that they feel happy when they hear the news of the success of the campaign.
Thank you, Frita. Definitely, I will.
Gordon.
Sorry, you're muted, Gordon. You're muted.
We have the annual meeting of the Adventure Ashram coming up, I think late May. I was just wondering if there was something special we could do there that might help raise some funds as well. It won't meet the target date that we need, but it would be able to provide once we are successful in achieving that renewal of the license. So I just wondering if there's something special, Colin and Karin.
Okay, so we're deciding where the funds that we raise at the UK rally are going. Our first point of call is that we need to get our emergency reserve back up. So we'll be replenishing that and then looking to split between Odinardi and Grace Charitable Trust and some running costs for ourselves. But certainly we could look at doing something special at that event to raise some extra funds. We're going to have our usual auction and raffle, but we'll get a thinking caps on. We're actually talking to somebody new about our fundraising strategy. It's actually Paul Mason's sister who's offered to give us some advice. So perhaps she'll come up with a novel idea that we can use.
And just while we're on the subject of the rally, just a little plug. If anybody does have any prizes for raffle, for raffle or for auction, anything that they think might raise a bit of funds, we would be so welcome for that, because we really do need some more. So if you or anybody you know has got anything that could be used for raffle or auction, please do let us know.
So questions just come up. How long does the license last, Solomon? So when are we going to have to go through this torturous procedure again?
You're muted,
you're muted.
Solomon.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we have applied already. We have applied already. The application is in process. We hope we will get on time, but I don't know how long the government will take.
No, the question is, when do we next have to do this?
5 years, after 5 years.
5 years.
Once
I couldn't
in 5
remember
years.
whether it was 3 or 5.
Yeah, 5.
It's definitely 5, and I did hear in the latest government, annual budget that I thought I heard that they were looking to make it 10 rather than 5. But I'll do some more digging on that, and let us just hope that what I heard was the truth and not just a rumor.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
Excellent. Okay. So I think we've probably come to an end. Solomon, did you want to say something, a final something to our folk here tonight?
I just wanted to thank each and everyone for your pledge from bottom of my heart, and really looking forward to helping these children by your support. And just really, there's no word. Really thank you so much for all your support and help.
Brilliant. Thank you, Solomon.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I was going to say thank you, Solomon, for managing to stay smiling throughout all of this. You're such an inspiration. The work that you do and the lives that you're changing every day. That we can support you to do your wonderful work is a privilege for all of us.
Thank you.
John's put his hand up.
Yeah, your mic's free if you'd like to unmute, John. Unfortunately, I can't do it for you. I can unlock it, but you need to unmute yourself. If you click on the mic at the top of your screen, you should be able to.
Yeah, okay, sorry about that. Just to confirm, I've just made the payment that I pledged.
Thank you very much,
so much,
John. That's
very
much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oof, Ferry's just typing.
Ferry, bless her, has been to collect her children and wasn't sure whether she could join us or not. So I think she's in the car coming back for some kids camp. Thanks, Ferry.
Just in case, Solomon, I don't know if you can read it. She said, "Thank you, Solomon. The children are very lucky to have such a strong ambassador fighting for them." And that's very true.
Thank you.
And I think we've got somebody else. Christopher, I've just unlocked your mic if you'd like to unmute yourself. There you are. We can hear you now, I think. Oh, no. No. There's a mic at the top of the screen. There should be a little microphone if you click on that.
Okay, that's
there
me.
We go.
Great, thank you. And yeah, great to hear from everybody and see everybody as well. I think it's a good, certainly interested in pledging, but also a good opportunity. I think something we had thought about before was there's a lot of campaigns, and sometimes it's emergency, and sometimes it needs a fast reaction, and it was about using skills that supporters of Adventure Ashram might have. In our particular case, was the idea that we use for 35 years, we generate money out of underutilized space. And it's that idea, something that is sustainable and is continual, would I would think would be extremely useful to Adventure Ashram. Obviously, our remit, where we make money, and this particular point is actually directed at Gordon. And I hope Gordon remembers meeting us in Masnagoody as well. We had a great conversation out there. But particularly talking to the Rotary Club, it's those ideas, even maybe just to drop into conversation, the people who mightn't even know they have spare space, and particularly the type of people that are in the Rotary Club who might have car parks that aren't used on weekends or evenings. And if there's something that anybody just drops an idea through to me, if there's ways we can use it. It reminds me, we did have a charity system. We called it it was called parity, where we used the big P for parking, and then it was charity, and it was organizations who we can generate funds out of the car parks that aren't used. But also they could decide a percentage that actually went to a charity of their own choice, whether that was to tick boxes with corporate social responsibility and different involvement for employees. So it was really just sowing that seed. I think it's a great chance when we're here now, and certainly if I can share more details about what we do direct with Adventure Ashram, then they can pass around whoever use it. The biggest thing we've always found is it's the people who don't actually know they have space. That is, it's why I've got the reputation of being the spaceman and the ideas man. And usually somebody who speaks to me doesn't sleep for a couple of days because their head is full of ideas. Everywhere they go, they see space now. And we're not just talking about scrawling on Roy's Aston Martin big stickers with Adventure Ashram and labeling it, but it is that idea. It could be offices, it could be boardroom meeting, it just could be somebody, particularly within the Rotary clubs or in business, who doesn't know they're sitting on something. And I think a great secret or a great benefit could possibly be, and of course, this is all hypothetical until we have something and we can demonstrate what we do around the country or the organizations that we currently work with. Yeah, so you know, something that's sustainable and actually could help you budget, that you realize, well, there's something coming in for whatever length of time. It's just sowing that idea, and I think possibly a good idea is I can say stuff, that examples of what we've helped with or stuff we're looking for that could be shared, and somebody might just know somebody. Because the clients, particularly the clients who've been interested in charity, vary from churches, youth groups. For example, it could be a business, particularly the way things have changed in the UK. There could be a lot of space that's left with people working from home. So, you know, if there's one parking space that could generate £50 a month, for example, £600 a year. And again, if it just, you know, just that idea, if that's one space, and of course the space and location can be very different, even rural, because you've got soaring vehicles, you've got caravans in the winter, speedboats in the winter, and again, people don't realize possibly what they're sitting on. And when we talk about space in a car park, it might be a farmer's barn, it might just be somebody you pass in conversation who says, yeah, things are tight, and when we generate money, it's up to them if they keep 80%, but there's 10% goes to the charity, or the split can be any which way they do, and everything we do is 100% transparent with how we do it, why we do it, and particularly with the revenues and monies. But just an opportunity to share that idea.
Brilliant. Thank you
Colin.
very much for sharing that. Christopher, I'm sure we'll be in touch after tonight and see how we can progress on that. We've got two more hands up. First up is Roy, and you're free to unmute yourself, Roy.
I am unmuted. Chris, that's really interesting. My background is I was in the parking industry for over 40 odd years, and I've got contacts from, down on the ground, but right the way up to the British Parking Association, who are the representatives nationally of parking. I'll look out for your stuff coming in, and then maybe me and you get together, because it could be we could actually do a piece to go into like their trade magazine. And then I'm happy to go and hawk it around a lot of companies I've dealt with over the years, the kind of the major players in the field, in the industry. So that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks, Roy. And back to Vicky again.
Yeah, a thought I'd had, which kind of links in with what Chris has already said regarding space. I've been selling quite a lot of stuff on Vinted lately, and you can actually donate what you make from Vinted directly to charity. So you could encourage people to clear out the houses, clear out the wardrobes, and donate to Adventure Ashram. It can be a percent, which can be the whole amount.
Okay, that's brilliant. We shall look into that. I know Vinted very well. I have a daughter.
Yeah, I'm not moving house, so I'm just trying to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. That's fantastic. Thank you. I'm just trying to lower your hand. There we go. Right. I think any more for any more. Otherwise, I think we will bring it to a close. I need to get rid of Roy. Go away, Roy. Don't mean it. Love you, really. So that's brilliant. So we've had some good stories from Solomon, some hope that we're going to reach our target, some fantastic pledges. So thank you all very much for your pledges and for your donations and for your ideas. So after the meeting, once the video has been published, it does it all in the background. Microsoft's wonderful sometimes. You will get an email from us with a link to the this meeting video. What I would ask you to do is, if you can, if you see any of our socials go up, please firstly like them, because more people then see them. But even better, if you can keep sharing them. I know some of you have been already, and that's fantastic. Keep doing that. Solomon, we wish you the very best of luck. We hope that you don't need the 9 months worth. And if you need more, hopefully we're continuing in the background, and obviously we will keep in touch with you. Just because we can't send you any money doesn't mean to say we're not going to keep in touch and finding out how things are going. So we wish you well. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Solomon. And Karina, thank you for putting together tonight and for the appeal. It's been a lot of hard work for you, I know, but we're nearly there. So fantastic, well done. If I can just ask the presenters not to disappear, I'm going to end the meeting and we all go back into what they call the green room, and we'll just wrap things up there. But for the rest of you, thank you so much for joining us. It was great to see some of you, not all of you, because you didn't all have your cameras on, but great that you could join us, and we do appreciate your help and support. So have a good evening. Thanks again. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.